Synergy, yes, a great takeaway for this morning session. Thank you very much, Sister Rosan and the KRA4 teams in all SPC schools and the entire SPU system. We are now in the open forum. So for your questions and comments on what just have been presented, please type them in the comment section in our online platform, Facebook, so we can address them. Okay, now probably while waiting, I think I have the privilege to ask my question first to Sister Rosan. Hi, Sister Rosan. How are you po?
Hi. Hi, Claude. Good
Good morning po. How's the weather like there?
temperate, cool. It's been raining all night.
I understand.
The storm signal has been lifted, but we're
Oh,
still cloudy.
I see.
But it's
Are
cool. It's comfortably cool.
That's good to know, sister.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Sister, we all see the wonderful laid out plans, no, that we have in the re-engineering. So kudos to everyone involved in the process. But sister, if it weren't for the pandemic, would we have had the re-engineering still? Because I just think with or without the pandemic, the significance of the clustering system goes beyond our response to the crisis brought by COVID-19.
Yeah, I guess even without the pandemic, we have already been a system since the early 2000. And I guess the clustering would have made the system more feasible and more operational. And the pandemic was, I must say, a push to kind of adapt it as soon as. And I'm glad to see this day. That's why I was saying in my proposition there, that was done maybe 10 years ago. I have already seen how this could perhaps help all our schools work in synergy. And I'm glad to see today where we are looking now at concretely laying the foundation, not only of the foundation that we have practically started with the clustering. We are already starting to move towards that the common direction.
Exactly. Talk about silver lining, no, sister?
Talaga. Talaga.
All right. Please allow me to read. We already have some comments here from, let's see, from Teresita Taguba. Thank you for the sharing of, this was from the breakthroughs and best practices of different SPC schools. We learned a lot from them. And then from Miss Marionette Martinez. Hi, Miss. Great to know the best practices of the different SPC schools. From Buboy Giling, SPCEM. SPCEM repositioning through collaboration and re-engineering through clustering system will positively enhance the quality of service that we offer to our stakeholders. More so, it provides an avenue on how lifelong learning can be spiritually achieved through our Polinian education anchored in our 5 Cs. Wow, thank you very much, Sir Buboy. All right. Some more we have here from Maricel Teresa. Polinian greetings. I am proud to be a Polinian. It was good to know the SPCEM practices. Very comprehensive, Sister Rosan. SPUS President, congratulations. All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, any more? Do we have questions? So I see here messages of congratulations and kudos. Okay. Sige, sister, maybe to while waiting for those. So far po, what is the greatest challenge yet?
I guess, Claude, the greatest challenge, especially because of pandemic times, there are upside, downsides of the pandemic. I would say that is communication has been made more feasible through Zoom and all that,
Yes.
so that the clustering, I must say, is anchored very much on communication, the frequency of communication, the facility of communication. And I guess technology today has facilitated that very much. And that should be a facility we can all um, benefit from for the clustering.
Exactly.
Uh, the downside is we don't get to meet personally. But you know,
Yes.
with the Zoom and the FaceTime and the, no, I don't think that will be a big difficulty. Nevertheless, we have also begun experiencing already, um, like because of technology, the sharing of faculty, of classes, small classes, being shared with the bigger classes in the bigger school. There have already been initiatives of that within the clusters that have been designated. And it's good to see that problems of small schools with small enrollments now anchored with the bigger schools, adapting them, so-called, and getting them into their classrooms because
Yes.
of technology. So with online, the clustering has been pushed to better realization. Now, I guess this experience of sharing and complementation will all the more convince all our schools that there is strength in unity, that there is so much we can benefit from by sharing. And I am also very happy to see how our schools with more resources are only too willing to share and inviting the schools in need to just holler, call for help, and we will help.
Yes.
And I love to see that spirit growing now within the system, within our SPCEM schools. And sometimes we cannot always answer all their needs, pero two heads thinking of a solution is always much better. And I see that. And even just the offer of support is already something to somebody in need. You know, sometimes you don't always get to the full solution, but nevertheless, you know, you're not alone, and that is already something.
It's
Your
true.
sister school there is willing to help you, to listen to you, to support you in whatever need she might be able to get, or to give rather. And that already for me is very promising of the clustering system as a real experience of synergy in SPCEM. And I guess that will go on. That will kind of be a contagious energy, hopefully, that will capture all our schools in the province. So, Claude, I am very hopeful that the
Yes.
dream of one SPCM will progressively come true.
We are all hopeful as well, sister. And of course, we have already started. We have had meetings with, uh, for example, our college. We have met with other colleges in different in the SPU system. And for me personally, I like being more familiar with other people in the other universities. Like I'm already familiar with Dr. Mendoza. She facilitated our meeting last time with the College of Arts and Sciences, and of course the other sisters as well. So um like what you said, sister, we are also hopeful. We do have a question here, um, and it states, what are the advantages and disadvantages of having one school head leading a cluster? And a follow-up question to that, sister, because it may be challenging for one head to say be the person in charge for say 5 or more schools.
Yeah. One disadvantage maybe will be kind of maybe in the beginning it is going to be overwhelming, but if you know how to budget time, and with well laid out plans and tasks properly delegated, I don't think it will be a difficulty. uh, One school head, because managing one school is like managing many campuses of one school. I experienced that. Here I have two campuses 6 kilometers apart, but communication is such that that's why I'm saying technology now has helped us very much um, um, facilitate communication among ourselves. Number one, kasi communication.
Right.
Kasi kahit na you're only managing one school, kung hindi naman kayo nag-uusap ng inyong mga mga unit heads, pareho na rin yun. Mas mahirap pa yun. But where there is open communication about the well laid out plans and strategic directions, and there should be room for flexibility also from the part of the manager, of the overall leader, a room for respecting initiatives in the different schools, a room for respecting their own autonomy to work best in their context, to be as responsive as they can be within their context, so that the atmosphere in cluster need not be controlling. It has to be more liberating, where the leader respects autonomy, at the same time also sees to it that there is synergy of action. Ganun lang yun eh, babalanse lang yun. So I don't think it's going to be very difficult for a leader of a cluster. Ang disadvantage lang siguro when there are expectations na hindi naman nakaklaro siguro, or hindi na nagagawa ng leader. Kasi there is no perfect leader. There will always be limitations. So there is the aspect there of complementation. Na kung ano yung kakulangan, pupunuin ng iba. And that's where I guess the beauty of being many will really evolve to the realization of a holistic service and better quality. Kasi nagpupunuan sa kakulangan ng isa't isa. That's what the whole spirit of clustering is about, complementation. And then, of course, the generous sharing. Ano meron ako, kailangan mo, kasi hindi ko pa naman magagamit lahat. And I guess the God of mission will see to it that we will always be well provided. The God who is really behind this mission will support the mission to its fulfillment. And that is providing our youth, our children, all our stakeholders, the best of what we can give and the best of who we are in building His kingdom here. So, Claude, marami talagang masasabi kong advantages.
Yes, I agree, sister. It's admirable po na how progressive you are. Your ideas are very progressive, no? Sister, may I read a follow-up from Sister Flor Deza? Yeah. I think it's not so much one leader leading the cluster, but maybe one leading in discerning, planning what they can do synergistically together.
Yes.
Very good response. Yes.
Exactly.
All right. Sister, again, another follow-up on the clustering. We have here from Sir Buboy again. What are the criteria or basis used in the clustering of schools?
If you notice in the proposed clustering that has already been presented kanina, may pagka-geographical.
Okay, of
Oo.
course.
And but there were also some instances where one or two, three schools were clustered with not necessarily a lead school that is not geographically near, but the need to be complemented in terms of the facility of services that can be given. I give one example. Minsan ako, Mindanao cluster sana yun. Kasi nasa Surigao kami and all my
Yes.
other members are from Mindanao. But there is one there who is not from Mindanao, and that's Goa. Goa is in Camarines.
Yes.
And but we happen to share one LMS. And so she said, Sister, dyan na lang ako makikluster sa inyo para mas mabilis ang pag-share namin ng learning resources under one LMS. So yung mga ganun na instances, no?
Right.
Like St. Paul Davao has always been under St. Paul Pasig. Kasi anak ng St. Paul Pasig ang St. Paul Davao. So, ayun, nasa cluster ng Davao,
Okay.
ang St. Paul Pasig. Yung mga ganun. But basically, it was geographical. The schools in the north under St. Paul Philippines, the schools the schools around Bulacan under St. Paul Quezon City, and then the schools around Manila, Makati, Parañaque, with St. Paul's Manila, if you notice. And then, of course, the Visayas schools with St. Paul Dumaguete and St. Paul Iloilo. So naging ganun yung clustering.
I see. Okay. So it's not just geographic po yung basis.
Yes,
there are other factors. Exactly.
Yes.
Again, a comment from Sister Flor. Thank you, Sister. The clustering will facilitate acting as system. We start small and this can snowball to bigger cooperative projects later. Yes. Because we're just beginning anyway.
Yes.
Another feedback, probably more words of encouragement from Nora Oros. 36 schools under one umbrella, 36 schools in synergy. All right, another comment from Sister Eileen Kaabay, SPC. Congratulations to the leadership of SPCEM for taking this bolder step to respond to the challenge years ago to intensify One Polinian branding. It's good that we saw the opportunity in this pandemic to facilitate communications among Polinian schools in order to extend assistance to other schools for sharing of resources. With God's grace, we are looking forward to one SPM with One Polinian branding.
Alam mo, Claude, I also would like to give special thanks to Sister Lilia for her full support to this proposition, kasi we have been kind of toying about the idea before pandemic pa, and then maybe she has also been thinking about it, and with Sister Nilda there, we are very happy that finally she has given full support to this initiative, and now we are at it. It's finally off the ground. And talaga, Sister Lilia, maraming salamat.
Thank you, Sister Lilia. Yes, always there to support. All right. So there are still some questions here, Sister. Okay. Here, what would be the proper disposition and attitude of the sisters and lay managers to make the clustering system work well?
Number one, openness.
Yes.
An attitude of, let's give it a chance to work. Huwag yung sasabihin ka agad, hindi yan magtrabaho. I mean, an openness to give it a chance. And with that openness, collaboration. Let's give it a chance to work and let's give it our all until it fails, if it has to fail. But I don't even believe it will fail. Maybe it will transform into um, another form or another way whereby collaboration will still work. Because I don't think there will be survival in isolation. As the Holy Father said, we need alliances. We need community. We need one another, not only to survive the pandemic, but to be holy ourselves. And that is why let's just give it that openness and let us all help to make it work.
Thank you, Sister. Um, just to follow up on that, Sister, from Sister Evangeline, what are the most essential things that need to be done to ensure the success of the clustering system?
I guess a lot of for this initial stage, we will expect a lot maybe from the lead
Yes.
coordinator uh, to start the ball rolling in her cluster, to start the meetings, to just start talking around with the heads of schools in the cluster and the heads of schools to start talking about it in their respective institution and defining areas where they can begin to share, where they can begin to collaborate. It's not always kaagad, ano yung kailangan natin
Yes.
hingiin? Hindi kaagad yun eh. Ah,
Yes.
ang importante, yung arriving at a common mind, a common aspiration. What can we do together? What do we want to do together? So little by little, we will arrive there. Let's talk. Let's communicate. And I believe that's why I'm saying a lot will depend on the lead coordinator to
Yes.
call those meetings, to dialogue, to just inquire, anong pwede natin pag-usapan? How are you there? Now it's enrollment has started. How's school? How are your faculty? How are the children? Happy ba lahat? O what are some of the parents' concerns? Mga ganun ba? Mapag-usapan. So that way we can begin to um, uh, evaluate, assess where are our areas for collaboration
Right.
and complementation. At saka, porket ako ang lead school, ako laging tagabigay. Hindi, ako may mga pangangailangan din. Oo. Kaya nga sabi ko,
Yes.
punuan lang sa kakulangan ng isa't isa. And that sensitivity to sense that. Kahit nga lang, congratulations, nadinig namin, may good news pala sa inyo. Yun ang nakakabusog ng puso na yun, di ba?
Opo.
Kaysa parang walang nangyari, wala ka man lang natanggap na, di ba? Kaya nga, sabi ko, that in itself builds already the cluster.
Agree.
Mm.
All right. Thank you, Sister, again. Another challenge for us here through this question from Sister Norman Ke. Don't you think this is rather idealistic? Each school has its unique characteristic, and to understand or have a feel of it, one has to be immersed in the environment, which is, of course,
Yes.
challenging now.
Yes. Yes, that's true. That is why you bring that to the cluster. And don't expect everybody will get to know right away if you don't share it. Kasi
Right.
ikaw ang nakakaalam kung saan ka nang gagaling. Then share it with us so we will understand, so we will appreciate, so we can share. Kung yung successes mo, joys mo, wow, let's rejoice together. Sa mga concerns mo, wow, let's share that. Tingnan natin kung paano tayo makatulong. Yung mga ganun ba? So that is why the cluster members have also the duty to fully immerse themselves in their context para they can bring this to the cluster and share. Oo, kasi we cannot know that definitely.
That's right.
Mm-mm.
All right. To just follow up on that, Sister Evangeline has a comment here. I think this clustering system will be a very good approach to address the dwindling number of sisters. At the same time, this should challenge us to prepare more of
Yeah.
these SPC leaders and also to empower our lay leaders and managers.
Yes,
Thank
yes,
you.
Claude, talaga. We
Yeah.
really have to look into that very seriously. The empowerment of our lay collaborators and yung empowerment hindi naman yung basta na lang yung nasa posisyon lang o magpagbibigay ng posisyon Hindi Even your every teacher has to be empowered. Every teacher has a potential to be a leader. And yung sensitivity mo ngayon, no, na to give all opportunities according to their gifts so that they bloom, so that they can really be the best of themselves. Masaya sila sa sarili nila. That, I guess, is the real essence of empowerment, na yung tao will begin to awaken to his own resourcefulness, to his powers, and begin to share this with the others. But we must give him or her opportunities to exercise those inner resources. Malaking bagay yun when a leader can provide those opportunities. Hindi yung may konting sasabihin ng hindi pa natin ginawa yun. Mo yan, hindi yan pwede. Kaagad hindi pwede. Openness of the leader to say, yeah, let's try it. Why not? Oh, that's a good idea. Pag-isipan mo talaga, seriously. Take everyone's initiative seriously. And eventually, kung minsan masakit yung empowerment kasi pag empowered na, there's always the fear at the back of a leader's head, or administrator's head na, wow, magaling na siya. Mamaya, pupunta na yan sa kabilang institusyon. That is part of empowerment. To see them really bloom there in the other side of the fence, okay lang. Because we are forming people for the bigger community, for greater service in the bigger community. Yes, parang ang feeling natin, lagi na lang tayo nag-train. Pag-train na, ayun na naman, lumabas na, pumunta na doon. Okay lang yon because we are serving beyond our institution. We are serving the bigger community. We are serving the country. We are serving the world. And the more evangelists we send out to proclaim, di ba? Masaya tayo. That is why I must say, kung minsan napaka-short-sighted din natin. Ang dami natin na-invest sa training, invest sa training. Tapos na-train na, aalis na. Sanay na ako doon kasi malawak ang aking field for them. I'm very happy to see them go because, wow, they'll spread the good news where they are. Make sure they bring the good news, not bad news.
Right, exactly.
Lord, you can say that. Huh? Let's make sure they bring the good news with them.
That's right.
And they will really help proclaim. Kaya nga, whoever is here, make the most and the best of them so that many will decide to stay because, wow, here they're much, much happier. Oh, that's everybody's autonomy. That is real empowerment. Real empowerment. We do not keep people for ourselves. They are for the kingdom. And the kingdom is out there as far as St. Paul, apostle to the Gentiles. Yan ang dapat natin isipin.
Wow.
That's
Sister, yes, you're oozing with empowerment and openness right now. Nakaka-inspire po kayo. We have a very specific question here from Sir Ronel de la Cruz. what good practices in the SPUS that can be appropriated in this clustering system?
Good practices. In terms maybe of, sa ngayon na, nag-uumpisa lang kasi, sa ngayon ang nakita ko na na I really found very good is yung people calling out schools with small enrollments, calling out to na, what is your offering there? Can my class of 5 join your class there? Kasi pareho what we really still have to clinch is come up with synergizing our curriculum. Kasi syempre kanya-kanyang offering, di ba? We started that last year. Every in tertiary education, we tried to see how what are your programs and how many units are you offering for that program? When are you offering your the exchange on curriculum maps so that we can better synergize the offerings so that there can be better opportunities for faculty sharing for small classes with big classes in other schools.
Yeah.
Because with technology now and everything online, it's much easier and more manageable to share. So that is one best practice I can cite now kasi we're just starting. And especially with the adoption of one common learning modality, which is OBE. Oh, there are many opportunities for practice, for sharing. Talagang marami. And not only the sharing of learning plans, modules, learning packets, there are many things that we can share such that hindi mo naman pwedeng basta na lang ibuhos ng ibuhos kasi you pace it also according to their need and their capacity to absorb. Ay, gusto ko man tulungan yung sa Santo Niño namin sa Hitagom, but they're really fully modular. Hindi sila pwedeng mag-online. So we have to reach out, module sila. So I'm looking at, paano natin sila tulungan sa module making, sa training ng faculty for modules. Yung mga ganon. Kasi according as needed lang. It's hard to say now. We are just starting. So best practices will maybe in 2-3 years time. Let's see.
I agree. Actually, sister, this is a good follow-up to that from Miss Maribel Abiar. She says, clustering is a very admirable initiative. So her question is, how often will this be evaluated to make sure that this is on the right direction? Thank you, Sister Rosan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we will do that in the SPCEM core team meetings. There will be frequent feedbacking kasi there are only 6 lead cluster coordinators. So it should be easy to get feedback from them. I'll leave that to Sister Nilda. And bigyan naman natin ng trabaho Sister Nilda as if she doesn't have more to do.
Yes, sister. May comment nga siya dito. Patience, the seed sown grows quietly.
Talaga.
All right. Thank you so much for all your questions. Very interactive. Just allow me to read the comments. We no longer have any more questions, sister, but we do have some beautiful comments here. From Janet Tiangco, clustering is inviting, sharing, and complementing. Makikita ang tulungan. Ang galing po, sisters. From Dr. Sharon Candy Manguera Mahusay. Hi, Misha. Belated happy birthday, Sister Rosan. Reengineering encompasses the organization structure. Oh, I think this is a question. Are we considering also restructuring in order to effectively implement the clustering program?
Clustering to cluster.
Right.
That's exactly what we are doing. I don't exactly know what she meant by restructuring to cluster. But we are already in the process of restructuring in the clustering. So little by little, yun nga sabi ni Sister Nilda, patience, little by little, we will define more specific areas for complementation and coordination. Kasi yun na nga, yung end in view na kulang 2 na lang, 3 madre na lang diyan, ito 1 na lang, yung gano'n. So, yung filling up the gaps through the cluster assets, we will be able to do that in time. So, a little
Right.
patience. No.
Yes. Okay. Another comment from Leslie Dominies. This is a good initiative so we can ensure that we are indeed one in all aspect in flourishing the Polinian education. Um, all right. Also from Mercedes Tuzon Remejo, I can sense the clarity and the purpose of clustering po with much conviction from those who initiated. Truly, with the advantages you had mentioned, po, sister, are more than enough to inspire each one to work well and share what we can share with each one. Wow. Thank you for that comment. Again, from Maricel Teresa, yes, I agree with Sister Rosan SPC that openness and collaboration are important, especially in this time of pandemic. There's a call to redefining the role and the function of each school admin, teachers, staff, students, alumni, and parents too.
Yeah.
Okay, very nice. We do have comments from Sister Feli. Clustering is the ideal move to do this time. The world has become collaborative and so must we. Yes. All right. Again, we thank you all for your comments and questions. Let me just, okay, I think I missed 2 or 3 more comments here. Let me just read them. All right. From Sir Buboy again. Sister Rosan, you are truly a very good leader for your actions. Inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more.
Thank
Wow.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, what a reassurance, no, sister?
Yeah.
From Sister Flordesa, again, true. When we lose people to the greater world, we are actually letting loose, sharing the good we have produced. Wow. Very good perspective. The gift of wisdom of Sister Rosan and our leaders is truly a gift to us Polinians as well, according to Bubo Nolasco. From Maria Flordeliza Anastasio, wow, very inspiring message from Sister Rosan. God's wisdom is in you, sister.
Thank you. Thank you.
From Leslie Dominies, I really admire how open-minded Sister Rosan is. And I have to agree with this sister. A true leader indeed on her thoughts on true empowerment and progressiveness as well. From Maricel de Guzman, the liberating, free, ang spontaneous leadership of our EVP leads us to be inspired, dream big, and collaborate for all the endeavors we have. Okay. And lastly, from Maini Wu, thank you for the wisdom, Sister Rosan. That being said, is very inspiring and moving. All right.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. So let's see here. In the interest of time, those are all the comments and questions we can accommodate. But then again, that does not mean that we are closing the dialogue. We shall continue our discourse beyond this virtual conference, not only in KRA4, but all the KRAs. Now,
let
yes,
me not
please,
forget,
sister.
I want to thank so much all those lead cluster coordinators who generously accepted the responsibility to start this initially. It's going to be not that easy, but then, wow, everybody is enthused to get into it. So I would like to thank them, really. The cluster coordinators, they know themselves because we have shown them already the school lead and all lead universities or colleges. Thank you very much to everyone. And thank you for all the very nakakabusog ng puso na comments. Thank you very much. It's very encouraging, inspiring, and gives us the push to go on with this initiative. This SPCEM Congress is already, it's already an expression of the synergy that's going on, the sharing of best practices, the sharing of the videos, and all the sharings and the very spontaneous sharing in the chat box is already the beginnings of, di ba, noong kasi pag nagko-congress tayo sa Pasig, laki-laki ng crowd, you don't even get to be heard, you don't even get to be, but here there has been a very active participation of the members, free and active participation. So let this flourish. Thank you very, very much.
All right. Now to join me, we appreciate you, Sister Rosan. Now to join me in thanking you, may I please call on Sister Nilda to present your certificate. Sister Nilda. Go ahead, Sister Nilda.
Naka-mute ata.
Sister Nilda, you're on mute po. There.
Where's the certificate?
Virtual daw eh.
Virtual. So anyway, good morning, everyone. We thank Sister Rosan for that very concise presentation of the concept of clustering. Indeed, she is the author of the SPCEM clustering. So there is no virtual. So it's virtual. Imagine, Sister Rosan, that we are giving you that certificate with love. Thank you very much, Sister Rosan. You have shared so much about the concept. And I am hopeful that our clustering system will flourish. We will see to its completion because God is there with us. Our SPCEM is truly blessed. It's gifted with many persons with many talents like you. So again, thank you very much, Sister Rosan. We will continue to pray for you so that you will share more of your wisdom. As they say, when you grow old, your your thoughts will also grow with you wisely. So thank you very much, Sister Rosan.
Maraming salamat, Sister Nilda.
Beautiful words, Sister Nilda. Please allow me to read the certificate right here, Sister Rosan. Yes, SPC Education Ministry, Sisters of St. Paul of Chartres, Philippine Province, awards this certificate of appreciation to Sister Marie Rosan Malilin, SPC, speaker on re-engineering the SPCEM through the clustering system during the 2021 SPCEM online conference held on September 6 to 7, 2021. Theme, mindfulness, flexibility, novelty, synergy, the Polinian way. Given this 7th day of September 2021, signed by Sister Maria Nilda Masirag, SPC, Provincial Assistant for Education, and of course, Sister Lilia Therese Tolentino, SPC, SPC Provincial Superior. All right.
May I add?
Yes, please, Sister.
Sister Rosan is the lone cornerstone of our SPCEM.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
We can do many things because she is there with us. Thank you, Sister Rosan.
Yes.
Salamat, maraming salamat.